All right, everybody, we are going live finally after all this time. I do have to turn the light down just a smidge, it's a little too bright. Let's see, there we go. I think that's a little bit better. The YouTube quality always, it's never fantastic, so it's all washed out. I can never get it right. So if I turn this light on for you guys, there's a beam up here that's annoying, but it looks good over here. And then if I turn this one up, it looks good over here, but not for you guys. So I apologize. Kenny, what's up, man? Good to have you on here. It's been this episode of benching and bullshitting is called catching up because we've been gone for over a week, and man, it's been a week. We've been in Ohio. Well, first we were in North Carolina. We were in North Carolina from Thursday to Saturday night. Then we left Sunday, and went to Ohio like almost immediately. So we've been there for over a week. So it's been a long time. I didn't have good enough connection in Ohio to go live or anything like that. So hey, Tony, what's up, man? Got some people hopping on YouTube as well. Appreciate that. Good to have you on here. It's a random. I know it's weird if it's a Tuesday night. I don't do this very often on Tuesdays. It was Sundays for a long time. Now it's Mondays. But again, we were traveling and we were in Ohio and just couldn't do it. So anyway, just kind of getting caught up on the week. Kind of a boring week. Nothing exciting to talk about except that I have begun the poly shirt break-in process. I started that last week on a Wednesday. I wasn't going to shirt up the entire month of August, but I decided I had the desire, I had the want to do it. So I decided to go ahead and do it. And it went pretty well. I mean, it feels like benching in poly. I don't miss it whatsoever. It fucking sucks. It hurts. It stings the back of the arms, but started the break-in process. So you're watching live on Firewatch. Good God. Sorry, bro. Is it you're not in the fleet yet? I don't think so. You're not doing 24-hour duty yet. Is it just 2-hour duty? Is that right? I forget. It's 1 hour on the island, and that's 2 hours during combat training. And MOS school was 2 hours, but I think it's 24 hours once you get to the fleet. James, hope you had a good vacay. I did. It was very good. We were with family up in Ohio and got to lift at the old stomping grounds, Blackstones, and also Iron Chamber. Good to have everybody on here. What's your next goal? My next goal? Well, I'm getting back into poly benching for a while, and then do that for some time. And then about a year plus, I'll get back to the band shirts, and then I will shoot for 1,500 pounds. That's the number that I could do and then retire on. You know, like be done with the heavy bench pressing, 1,500 pounds. Jason, good to have you on here as well. Let's see. What does the break-in process look like? Multiply treated the same as breaking in single ply. I treated exactly the same, Brandon. Yes. So what I'll do is I'll put it on for the first 2 to 3 sessions, maybe 4. It's a double. It's because of 2-ply. I'll just use really lightweight, 4 plates, 5 plates. I'll even spray some water on the chest plate and just do tiny little quarter reps. I'm trying to get these tight fucking new fibers to start breaking in and moving a little bit before I actually put heavy weight on the shirt and start going off of boards. So very, very similar to single ply. Okay. Yep. Hey, Mothman, that's gonna be the way it is for your entire career. So 2 hours, you're 4 hours on the weekends. MOS school right now, we do have duty here separate from Firewatch. It's 24 hours. Have that on Saturday. That sucks. It's always gonna be there. It's always gonna be there. It never goes away. What type of poly shirts? It's a 2-ply Titan F6 from Anderson Powerlifting. 2-ply F6 with open back. That's what I'm using. Checking in from NH, New Hampshire. Is that what NH is? Good, man. I'm glad that you got back to it. Yeah, getting back to some reverse grip. Felt decent. Way weaker now, but it's fun again. Good. I'm glad. Absolutely. That's a good deal. And then Groog over here on YouTube is asking favorite tricep mass or strength building exercises. Well, I got 3. I've got the reverse grip bench. I've got dead stop floor extensions. And then I also like doing incline JM presses. I'm sorry, I already apologized once for being so washed out. I have good quality picture on Instagram, but then I have bad quality picture for YouTube. House of Triceps, that's appropriate. What's up, man? And you said Mateo Ramirez is breaking in the single ply F6 right now. Good. All right, we're on the F6 team. Good to go. Let's see. But yeah, so it's gonna be a process. Get back into poly. I've now done poly shirted benching in 2.5 years. I've been doing band shirts for over 2 years, man. Smashcock says, is poly harder to groove? Absolutely it is. Do you have milestones laid out for the next year in poly? Not really. I just kind of want to do it and get good at it again. There's always that shot. I've always wanted to hit a 1,200 pound bench in poly. So maybe that's still like on the radar. I hit that 1120 in single ply poly back in June of 21. So it'd be cool to come back into poly and eventually do like 1150, 1,200 pounds. I attempted 1140 and 1150 in November of 21, and I bombed out because I was too bloated with sodium. And I got the shirt to the point where it wouldn't stretch any further, which I had never felt before in my entire career. So that was definitely like an eye opener for me. So benching 1,200 pounds in a poly would be pretty cool. Yeah, but no specific goals. I'm just doing it because I need to change the pace. I've been doing band shirts for 2.5 years, and only band shirts, different types, single, double, triple, quad, but band shirt to band shirt, apples to apples. So it's time to change it up and do something different. I'm really looking forward to it. It's been I'll tell you, man, I was at the end of my rope to get that 1,400. I got the timing. Saying that I got the timing wrong is not right. I just went too long. Like I was at my absolute strongest in like May, maybe the beginning of June, and then the rest of June and all of July was just trash. Like my body was fucked up. Everything was heavy. Everything moved slow. I was always sore. But May I could have benched 1,450. I hit 1,320, my original 1,300 pound bench from a year prior for a set of 5 from a one board height. Like I was really strong in May. I could have done a lot more. My forearms didn't hurt. But and speaking of that, yeah, David, how are your forearms these days? 100%? I think they're about 100%. Yeah. The break has been much needed. Who wonders that taking a month off would do for me, But yeah, it's definitely. I mean, I held on to. I was deadlifting last Sunday, strapless, and I went really heavy with deadlift, and I was able to hang on to my top single, and it didn't hurt my forearm. So I can always tell if my forearm is fucked up. I can't even squeeze. Like holding onto a barbell, doing back work is like I can't do it. So the fact that I could hang on to my deadlifts last Sunday, even this past Sunday, I deadlifted too. That tells me my form is like 100%. So yeah, it's good. I'm gonna be happy to get back to heavy benching because that's what motivates me. So, but where was I? But yeah, the end of the rope thing, man. Like I said, I went to the Arnold, did the Arnold bench meet, was sick for 2 weeks, and then trained from about middle of March all the way to the end of July for that meet. When in reality, I could have only had to have trained for March, April, May, like 2 or 3 months and been ready. But I committed to this meet that was in July. And me, being me, I can't back off. Once I start something, I have to go full bore till meet day. But I went full bore for too long, and I ended up getting really, really fucking sore. Really sore. No hair mean come back to good old single ply. Well, it means it's a new chapter in my career. Yep, I'm coming back to poly benching. The Mohawk was also kind of a like a hooray for getting out of the Marines. So I didn't want to take care of it anymore. Katie had to shave it herself. Like I can't shave that close. You have to have somebody do it. Also, you don't want to nick, right? You don't want to nick the Mohawk and make it look stupid. So Just taking care of it was a pain in the ass, so it was enough. Back to being partially bald. I mean, I got hair, but like it's always short. Brandon K says, I ordered a double ply F6 a few weeks ago after my friend Paul reached out to you on my behalf. I'm very excited for it. Oh, good deal. Yeah, it's a really nice shirt. The 2-ply F6s come with the reinforced shoulder seams, like a katana would, pretty sure. So, and a really, really thick, very stiff collar. Almost thicker and stiffer than the come on the double ply katanas, which is weird because the katanas that are premium poly and F6 is not, but they put a more robust collar on the F6s for some reason. James, YouTube says, do the dead stop tri presses hurt your elbows? I love these, but they make my elbows scream. I personally don't get any elbow pain from that. If they're making your elbows scream, don't do it. Just don't do it. Find something else. if it's making your elbows scream, I highly recommend finding something else and don't do those. That's not good. Let's see. 8 watching is crazy. You'd think the best get more attention. Well, I didn't announce it either. I didn't announce I was going to be going live or anything, so it's no big deal. Let's see. STBN says, thoughts on Inzer SDP? My personal opinion is that they're garbage. Don't invest in an SDP because you'll be thoroughly disappointed. They stretch out almost immediately, and Inzer does not alter equipment anymore. So you have to send it to somebody else. Pharrell or Ginny is another one that I know of. You have to send it somewhere to get it altered because Inzer won't touch it. So you could spend $350 on a triple ply SDP that'll be good for 1 to 2 workouts, or you could spend the same amount of money at AndersonPowerlifting.com and get yourself a 2-ply F8 for the exact same price. If you use my code, my Kolbstrong code right there at Anderson, you can get a 2-ply F8 for the exact same amount of money, the $350. Now that'll last literally countless workouts and countless meets with 0 alterations. Hoff was talking about old denim shirts. Have you or would you ever play with in training? I started out in a 2-ply Calvin Klein denim. That was my first bench shirt I ever had. Was that shirt? It was a hand-me-down from Adam Hicks. He taught me how to bench in it, and that would get me to my first 700-pound bench when I was 18 or 19. I think it was 19. I just turned 19. But now that I'm with Anderson, I pretty much I have to be completely loyal. I want to be completely loyal. So I don't mess around anything that is not Anderson affiliated. So Titan equipment, F8 Customs equipment, but anything else, I don't mess with that. Jang on YouTube says, hi, Jimmy. Weighted dips are good for bench. Some people say they are. I say they're not. I get nothing out of weighted dips whatsoever. They do nothing. They hurt my shoulders. I could become stronger and stronger and stronger with dips, but my bench would go nowhere. Had no carryover to the bench, so I don't do weighted dips or overhead work. But if you do overhead work, if you do dips or weighted dips and you get something out of it, then don't listen to me and keep doing it. I just personally do not do them. Antoine says, if you had to choose between single ply or multiply for the rest of your life, what's your choice? I would probably go with, that's tough. If we're talking poly, then I would probably go with single ply. There's something very appealing about Philip Herndon. What's up, man? There's something very appealing about taking a single ply shirt, just one single layer of supportive equipment, and making it work as much as you possibly can. There's something to that I really enjoy. Single ply is near and dear to me, and my highest poly bench ever was done in a single ply. So maybe that will change in the future because now I'm getting into the multiply stuff. But single ply would definitely be what I would choose if I had to choose between multiply or single ply. Do you consider Larson press sets will help improve my single repetition max bench and incline bench? Um, no, not really. I think that Larson press does not provide enough variation to do much. I think you get much more benefit from doing flat or incline press with a very narrow grip or a reverse grip. That's enough change to actually allow you to have some variation and get some benefit out of it. Just taking your legs off the floor does nothing besides, okay, it makes you slightly more unstable and takes your leg drive away, but you're not changing anything on the upper body. So I think Larson presses are kind of overrated. Oh, Martinez says my last meet had a 7-hour delay. That sucks. I didn't take enough food and water. Big lesson. Yeah. Most amazing thing was competing. That 92-year-old man competing that I sent you a picture. Yeah, that's incredible. Just to be alive at 92 is incredible, but to be competing like that, that's something special. I do pause sets on bench press and incline bench press. Well, I hope that is working for you. Hope that works for you. Sorry guys, fucking around with this cord over here. But anyway, yeah. So I'm raring to get back to the big training. It's been a week of doing pretty much nothing. We were up there visiting family in Ohio. Went to the gym a couple of times. Didn't do anything too serious. There's some pump work, stuff like that. But yeah. So this week, tomorrow actually, we were trying to come home yesterday. We stayed one more day, left this morning, got back tonight. So I missed my back workout with Chris. But so what I'm trying to do is go in tomorrow night and kind of like jump back into, get back into the serious training because got work to do. But if you have questions, that's why I'm pretty much on here, is to answer your questions. Would you ever coach? Yeah, I do coaching. I don't do a lot of it. It's very hard for me to do. It's hard for me to take people on. So right now I'm working with 3 athletes, and that's it. So I do it. I do offer it, but I don't do it very often. My list is very, very small. So I just pick. Wait, 3? Let me think. What, David, 4. I actually have 4. It's about to be 3. I have one guy who's almost at the end of his cycle with me. So 4, about to be 3. Can you run down how you do a proper deadlift form? No, I'm not a good deadlifter. Philip Herndon's a good person to ask right there. I'm not a good deadlifter because I have a bench press body. So, but Philip's a very proficient 800-pound deadlifter, so he'd be a good person to ask. What's your next venture in geared lifting? That's a good question, Philip. I'm not really sure. I'm going to get back into poly benching slowly. I just started the break-in process last Wednesday. I'm going to do another break-in set probably tomorrow. No, I'm going to wait till Saturday. Shirted bench on Saturday, not Wednesdays. So I'm going to do some more break-in sets on Saturday. Just get back into poly, get proficient with poly again, and see where that takes me. Martina says, back when you started in Ohio, was Sean Franklin from Big Iron a big influence for you starting out? Yes, he was. He was the man for a while. He was on every magazine cover in the magazines for ads. I mean, he was all over the place. And yeah, he was a big inspiration for us. And I like the way he left the sport. He fucking demolished all the records and said, that's good. And then just got out. You know, he didn't die. He didn't get old. He didn't fade away. He just got out when he wanted to on a really good note. And then he's a fucking walking, living legend. What's cool, Bob? What's going on, Jimmy? Please remind me, you started in powerlifting before focusing on bench. Do you ever see yourself going back into it or strongman? Definitely not strongman. Full power, Yes, I could definitely get back into that. But yeah, I started out full powerlifting, but I really started focusing just on bench about 5 years into lifting, or 1 year or 2 years into competing. So about 19 years old, I really started to focus just on bench. Still doing the other two lifts, kind of semi-serious. Got my biggest total ever at 20 years old in the 220 class, but I've always focused on bench more. Okay, cool. How would someone contact you to get into coaching? Instagram is the best way to get in contact with me. Kolbstrong, Kolbstrong. Which I will put right here for you. Typing, guys. There we go. Are you going to do? Oh, interesting. Are you going to do the WPO bench only meet at Bull Farm? Well, it's a poly only bench meet, which is ironic that I'm getting back into poly as we speak. But let's see, September, October, November. I don't know if I have enough time to be proficient with it, to break it in, to get good at it again. But that'd be interesting. Yeah, someone asked me the same question like 4 weeks ago, and I said about the exact same answer. I don't know. I'd be honored to get an invite, but I have to get back into poly. I just started that process like a week ago, like literally a week. It was 2 weeks ago. Shit, I was wrong. It's 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago from tomorrow is when I started my break-in process. So I would love to do it, love to get an invite, but again, I have to get back into poly and be good at it again. It's been 2.5 years of not doing it. Let's see. So maybe. But then again, like the travel to get there, the money, the expenses, I can't take my crew that I would need for like handoffs and stuff. So it probably won't happen. Keith Stitch, what's up, man? Hope you're feeling all right. Are you back in katanas? No, I'm actually going with an F6. 2-ply F6. I'm done with katanas. I don't want to use them anymore. Let's see. Do you think static holds are good? Jang says. They have their place, but they can be overused at the same time. So very seldom do I ever do static holds, but they do have their place. Yes. New to single ply myself. What does a breaking process entail? It entails starting out with really, really lightweight. I'm talking like 4 plates, 5 plates. I'm trying to get these new tight fucking fibers to start moving and breaking in a little bit before actually putting weight on the shirt. So I'll do about 2 to 3 sessions with 4 to 5 plates, adding water to the chest to get the material to start actually moving and the fibers to start moving before I start the actual like coming down the boards and stuff. Rehab tomorrow. Okay, well, you'll be just fine, Keith. You got a strong mind and a good heart, so you'll be just fine. I believe in you. Let's see. Ryan says I'm currently doing 1 equipped and 1 raw bench day a week. Good. 1 lat trap day. Okay, good. And 1 row mid back day. Okay. With the 5th day, I've been doing rear delt. What are your thoughts on that split for bench only? I would probably combine. I mean, it depends on. You could probably get away with that. I think that's fine. Having a lat and trap day and then a row mid back day. You just don't want to overtrain the back. So I would almost, my first thought was combine the back days into one and then have your rear delt day. You could also probably throw in like arms or forearms on the rear delt day because those are really important for your bench. But I think that's probably fine. The way you're doing it's probably fine. Yeah. Jason says, how long do you think your body will adapt back to poly shirt benching versus using the band shirts? Does it just rely on the adaptation of your body getting used to the material and the pressure or of the shirt? It does. It's a different kind of pressure. It's not elastic. It's fabric. It's not band material. It's not knee wrap material. So yeah, it's going to be a process. The pressure is much worse. I will say that the pressure is immensely worse. But you just don't have the carry through with a band shirt as compared to a poly. There's just not. That's why they're a separate division. They have to be a separate division because it's so damn different. So, yeah. Do you think there would ever be a 2,000-pound equipped bench? One side of me is saying anything is possible. The other side of me is saying you have to be kind of realistic. So, but I don't know. In 40 or 50 years, when I'm long and dead, we'll see if a 2,000-pound bench will happen. My lifetime goal is 1,500. So, the number that I could retire on and not pursue anything higher is 1,500, which is 3/4 of a 2,000. So it's pretty close. So I think it might be possible. Hey, Kolb, are you doing weighted pull-ups for back? I don't do pull-ups at all because Marine Corps. Fuck that. I promised myself I would never do another pull-up for the rest of my life. At my unit alone, I saw about 4 or 5 torn labrums from being forced to get better at doing pull-ups, and guys were tearing their labrums in their shoulders. So, nope, no more pull-ups for this guy. I will never do another pull-up for the rest of my life. Nope, and nope. West Cuba. I don't get to get on here as much as I'd like, but I appreciate you doing these live sessions. Well, thank you for hopping on here. Got to get some dinner and do some college work. Have a good night. Well, have a good night as well. Appreciate you coming on here. Jason, you're welcome. Someone says, Natty, yes. Oh, Alex is on here. What's up, man? Let's say James says, what do you think of the open powerlifting rankings? Are they a good gauge to how you compare to others? I think they do an awesome, fantastic job. I really, really appreciate what they do. So yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. Sometimes once in a while, you'll find a discrepancy. As long as you can prove the discrepancy, you just contact them to make the correction. But overall, it's a very, very good gauge on where you stand. Yes, they do it. They do a fantastic job. They also have a Patreon. I've subscribed to them. I think of $1 or $5. I'm not sure. You can get your name. They can make your name a different color if you subscribe to their Patreon. Yep. Yeah. Very good source. Oh, Alex, good. You're doing good. I spoke with Sabrina finally today. We were playing phone tag for the last week or and a half, but I finally talked to her, and I'm going to start sending her workouts before Friday night bench sessions. So she will be getting her workouts from me starting this week. And she said she was trying to do 2 days a week on bench, which I would like her to do, but I understand that she can't. But so 1 day a week will be just fine. And she wants to bench 500 pounds. And I'm like, no problem. I think you got that. No problem at all. So Sabrina is one of the athletes I'm currently coaching. I just started, this week's going to be our first week. So we were just talking about coaching here not too long ago. Good deal. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's been a good week. I'm looking forward to getting back to it. Someone says, what do you think about Polish bench presser? I don't know that. I don't recognize the name. Nope. Sorry, Daniel. I can't even pronounce his name. I'm third generation Polish or American, and I can't pronounce it. But I don't. My mom doesn't speak any of it, so we didn't have anything in our lives growing up with it or anything. So, nope. I'm not familiar. Jordan Green, single ply versus double ply Widowmaker, big difference. Yes, huge difference. Huge difference. Yes, big difference. Actually. Surprising amount of difference. Let's see. Yeah. No, lat pull downs, no. No, lat pull downs you cannot. I mean, I'm not gonna say you can never. No, it's just when you're hanging with your body weight, like dead hanging, or like trying to take a break or something. And then you pull from that position, that can tear your labrum. Yeah. Now, if you stay really tight and don't let your arm fully extend and don't let your hang from your shoulder capsule, you're probably fine. But pull-ups, in my experience in the Marine Corps, are just really, really, really bad for you. So I will, personal opinion, but I will never do them ever again. Yes. How the fuck does anyone get as strong as you? 19 years of lifting weights, 19 years of focusing solely on making my bench press bigger. 19 year, almost 2 decades, more than half of my life has been dedicated to the bench press. Okay, he benched 365 in single ply and attempted 400 kilos. I'm sure my buddy Paul Stein would probably know who that is. I think is Polish. My buddy Paul Stein would definitely know who that is. I don't, but that's awesome. Single ply, almost 400 kilos. That's excellent. Alex has got the chance to play with an insert in my 2-ply last week. Unreal pressure. I have no idea how you do it with the 4 plies and an insert. Yeah, it's pretty insane. I will say it's less pressure than a nice tight fitting poly though. In comparison, it is way better. Let's see. Josh says, any input on working in a 2-ply shirt after training single? The weight I could touch within a single ply doesn't even want to budge in the 2-ply, and the weight I can touch in is too much to bench press. Yeah, that's a interesting dynamic. I'd say just train. If you're training in the single ply, you're training in the single ply. If you're training in the 2-ply, train in the 2-ply. Don't mix the two together if you're having that much trouble. Yeah. Everything equipped. Hi, Jimmy. What are your thoughts on the conjugate system? I'm not a big fan of conjugate. A lot of people know that. Do you believe it's better done to the T, modified, or not done at all? Well, I think modified is the way to go. Full on conjugate to the T, I just don't agree with a lot of what it entails. Again, I'm not a big fan of conjugate. I'm very, very open and public about that fact. But if you're going to do it, definitely modify it to fit your needs. I think that's the point of conjugate, anyways, to find out what works for you and what doesn't. But Daniel Hawk, but it's going to feel good to play with baby weight and poly. That's maybe one of the biggest things is like, instead of fucking around with 12, 13, 14 plus all the damn time, the weights are going to be like 8, 9,000, 1,100. Like so much fucking more manageable, so much easier to do. Oh, can't wait. Ed, you just ate 52 wings from Applebee's. Dear Jesus Christ, dude. Applebee's has $12.99 endless wings right now. And we had that yesterday before we left Ohio. Yeah. The endless wings for $12.99. That is awesome, Ed. Good God, my buddy Ed just ate 52 wings. 52? 52? Oh, boy. That's a lot, man. Jeez. I can eat like 20 if I'm really hungry, but 52? Cripes. Martinez says, Jen, how difficult is it to figure out a F6 single ply if I have no crew that uses a shirt? It's going to be difficult only because people are not going to be able to point things out to you. So it might be difficult. If nobody knows what they're doing, no one knows anything about shirts, it might be hard, but not impossible. But it will be difficult because if you're doing something wrong, they're not going to be able to help you. They're not going to be able to point out like what the problem is. That could be an issue. How often can you train in a single ply shirt? I mean, I trained in mine every single week, Philip. Leading up to the year of 21 was a good year for me. That was my single ply year. That was my 1,050, 1,080, 1120, 1060. All in the same year, all in the same shirt with no alterations. The only thing that was different, my body weight went up a little bit each meet. So the shirt kept remaining tight as I got bigger. So I trained in that thing almost every single week. Yep. Like almost every single week. Now, I mean, like shirt to shirt, material to material, it might be a little bit different, but with katanas, I could train in them almost every single week. I am home, Ed. Yep, we're in our office. How many did you eat? I ate 5 plates. So probably about 20 wings. I don't know how the fuck you got 52 of them down, Ed. Jesus Christ. To be 18 again. Let's see. Tony says, I've been asked to stop on all you can eat barbecue or seafood. I've not gotten to that point. We went to Honey Pig before we left for Ohio like 2 weeks ago. And this has never happened to me before. Honey Pig is a Korean hot pot joint down by our gym. It's a little expensive, but when we have the funds and friends to go with, we go. And I ate till I started to feel full. And I was like, nah, fuck. It was so good. I kept shoveling it down. And the pain went away. I felt full a second time. I was like, oh, God. Oh, this is terrible. But I kept shoveling it down. Rice, chicken, brisket. Then it came around a third time with a bad fucking attitude. And that's when I realized, oh, I just fucked up. Because I pushed myself to the point where I had 3 separate feelings of starting to get full, and each one was worse than the last. I was so goddamn full of Korean and rice. We went home, passed out. We fell asleep for about 4 hours, woke up. I was still full, terribly thirsty, drank a bunch of water, sat down for about an hour, watched some TV, laid back down, passed out for 10 more hours. I almost ate myself into a food coma. I've only done that once in my life when I was 19 years old over in Columbus, Ohio for a meet. But yeah, so I could put Bryce away like it's my fucking job. Let's see. Thomas says, hey, Jim, hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. Good to hear. I have some equipped bench questions for you again. Also, how many wings do you eat at Applebee's? Okay, I got to that one. Did I ask away, Thomas? Yeah. Mateo says, have you ever used 2 of the same poly shirts, like one for comp and one for trend to preserve the pop and comp? I have done that, but through proper manipulation of the shirt itself, I stopped having to switch all the damn time. Because if I'm going to compete in it, I want to know that shirt inside and out, upside down, backwards, and diagonal. Like I want to be as familiar with that piece as I possibly can. So I kind of stopped switching. Which is why I won't switch now. Like I'll just be in that 2-ply F6. And you can't be afraid to get the thing altered. If it's starting to get loose, if you're losing your pop, if the sleeves are getting too big, you have to send it in and get it altered. It's just have to. It's just like when you put a lot of miles on your car, you have to have maintenance, right? It's a little more complicated than that. But yeah, same thing with your vehicle. Anything man-made requires maintenance the more you use it. So don't be afraid to alter your equipment, get it sized down. Favorite meal before training, Antoine asks. Well, normally I go to the gas station. I'll have a weight gain shake about an hour and a half before I go to the gym, about 800 to 900 calories. Let that settle. Usually I take a nap. Then I'll go to the gas station. I'll get like a Reign or a Prime drink or a Rockstar or a NOS, whatever I feel like, and like a payday. And that's what I eat and drink on the way to the gym. Had to jump back on. Wes Coolbaugh says, what are your daily eating habits? I eat like absolute fucking garbage. But I eat a lot of calories, a lot of carbs, lots of rice, a lot of weight gain shakes. And a lot of water and a lot of sodium. Cool, I'm caught up now. But yeah, so I just wanted to come on here, everybody. If you have any last minute questions, I've got about 20 minutes left on this live. I'm going to keep this one just about an hour. So I've got exactly 21 minutes and 53 seconds left. So Thomas says, well, today I sort of peaked on my supercharged Ram 2A1 board for 2x2 507. Okay, one board 507. Thinking of going back to 2 board now for 5s, 3s, 2s, used to heavier weights again before jumping down to boards. Agree. I do agree with that, yes. I think that would be a good thing to do. So you peaked. So then you got to start back on the 2 board, and do 5. So the weight will be a little bit lighter, more volume, and then work your way down 3s and 2s. Used to heavier weights again, yes. I agree with that. Yes, sir. But yeah, so I got like 20 minutes left, everybody. I know it's Tuesday night, kind of an odd night. I wanted to hop on here. I haven't been on here in a long time, probably like 2 weeks. So I wanted to make sure I got on here and talked to everybody. Looking forward to the journey. If you're interested in seeing what I do, I've got a lot of people on here, and Cody just hopped on. He's one of my boys. I've got Thomas. I've got a lot of people. I can't name you all because there's too many of you, but a lot of people I have on here tonight are also on my Patreon. I have a Patreon that's $10 a month. I also have YouTube members, which is same, $10 a month. It's all the behind the scenes training that I'm doing that you don't see. What leads me to these big benches, how I train back, how I train lower body. So if you're interested in that, again, find Kolbstrong on patreon.com, and you can subscribe for $10 a month to watch everything I do 5 or 6 days a week in the gym. Just wanted to hi real quick. Well, hi. Good to have you on here, Cody. Have you ever torn a tendon from lifting too heavy before? I have not. Thankfully, I've not torn it. I've not had any major injuries. I attribute a lot of that to lifting and equipment. I want to do this sport healthy for decades, not just a few years. So I lift equipped. Thomas says, "Yep, exactly." Oh, Devin. Oh, wait, I'm behind now. Devin says, "Thanks, Jim. Still living the Patreon stuff." Thank you, Devin, for your support on there. I appreciate that. Yeah, Cody says Patreon's the meat of the sandwich, the good part. And then Tom says, "Yep, exactly. As with a half board or full touch, it's just more risk on my commercial gym." Yeah, that's why I prefer to play it smarter for the long haul. Good. Yeah, we want you around for a long time, Thomas. So just stick to that plan. Do you have any experience with the Pharrell F8 bencher compared to a OnePlus Super Katana? How does an F8 move? Is it similar? Is it easier to get into an F8 shirt by myself? You can get into that F8 shirt by yourself completely. There is no comparing the two. The F8 is going to have so much more pop, so much more longevity. You can get into it by yourself. Then when you're not using it, you can just slip your arms out of it, let it hang at your belt. You can just cool off and kind of hang out and slip it right back on, do your set. It's you can't compare the two whatsoever. If you're by yourself, Thomas, I would absolutely go with the Pharrell because of the difficulty that it is getting into a katana. Alex says, "I have a double band Widowmaker, and the year plus I've had it, I've never moved it with both plies. I seem to recall you saying Rob Farrell had different materials. Should I ask him if he can build a Widowmaker with a stretchier interior loop?" I think he could. I know he could. It'd be a custom piece. I don't know what he would charge, but you can always reach out on his website. That's the best way to get a hold of him. I do know they're really busy. I know they were in Florida a week or two ago. I swear they were going out to Hawaii. They might be on vacation right now, so you might not be able to get a hold of them. But I guarantee he could probably do a custom order like that for you. You just have to reach out on the website and ask him. R. Morris says F8. Yeah, fuck yeah. I've been using a band for my elbows and wrist the same way we do with the Super D shoulder protocol. Oh, okay. For your elbows. I've seen Donnie do something like that. Yeah. I should probably start doing the same, actually. Thank you for reminding me, actually. Thank you. Best length for wrist wraps. I am a fan of the 36-inch wrist wrap. That's it. Now, I do have a pair of 12-inch wrist wraps that I use when I squat. Because when I'm squatting, the joint is non-moving, right? So I don't need a 36-inch wrap for a squat. So I just use 12 inches. But when I'm benching, it's all 36. No matter what kind of strength level, if it's the lightest stuff we have at Anderson Powerlifting or the most strong, William says 41 inches. Let's see. Yeah, I always use 36s. Cody says, "I sold my X Factor to my training partner, Mike, and he's been doing really well with it, 775. I saw that video. I almost thought it was you, Cody, until I realized you were on the side. I thought you were benching it with that much weight. I was like, whoa, hang on now. I missed something. I did miss something. It wasn't you on the bench. I thought that was funny. I just saw that video. Let's see. 39 is great too, he says. William says 41 inches and 39 inches. Oh, 36. Yeah, 36. Dyslexic. Thoughts on elbow wraps? I don't mess with elbow wraps like at all. KLA 5,000 wrist wraps. Enjoy the pain. They're worth it. Yep. All black because it's Anderson's first all black wrap, which I'm so happy they got. Let's see. Have you ever had experience training for raw and equipped meet at the same time? No, because I've always trained equipped. I've always competed equipped, so I've not had that experience. No. So the F8 shirt is more aggressive than the Poly Super Katana, but easier to move in and learn. Correct. Yes. Looking into an F8 as well to handle weights higher than the Supercharged Ram. Hopefully that can carry into Poly. Well, it's so different. That's the problem. Because it's so different than Poly, you might not see some carryover, whereas Poly is so damn hard to learn that would definitely have carryover to the band shirts, but not the other way around, in my opinion. Because while Poly is basically my only option, unless I'd fly out to the States or something for a meet, but that would be an expensive bench-only meet for sub 600 benching. In that case, if you got meets that's like solely just single ply, I would go with that and have to learn. I'd recommend learning it, but if you're not looking to compete for a while, if you just want to have fun and get stronger and handle heavier loads, the F8's the way to go. No, I stay out of that shirt. Yes, we have come to the conclusion it was too small for me. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you stay out of it, Cody. I'm glad you sold it, got some money out of it. Good. What's the biggest mistake people make in increasing bench? Love from, I'm not sure what flag that is. Well, good to have you on here. There's several, but biggest one I find, oh God, I don't know if I can narrow it down to one. I think the biggest mistake would be jumping straight into benching heavy, jumping straight into powerlifting and not building a base of muscle and strength. Anyone who's trying to increase their bench, I think for the first 6 to 8 months, arguably closer to a year, should be bodybuilding, trying to get as muscularly as big as possible before you're trying to see how much weight you can do. Volume, bodybuilding. Don't try to just max out and just try to start powerlifting right away. Build some muscle. When I'm thinking the following with the F8, then just be like a tool to learn to handle higher weight, bone density, tens, etc. So my body isn't totally surprised in Poly because with the F8, I can get in there alone. So I'd only need a handoff and 2-man spotter team, then probably Poly, then more under proper guidance. Yes, I think that's a good way to approach it, Tom. Yeah, I really think so. Yeah, that's good. They got a good plan there. It's just keep in mind the F8 and the Supercharged Ram are both made of wrap material, and the Poly is made of poly. It's made of fabric, and it's going to be very, very different when you go into the Super Katana. As long as you're aware of that, I think that plan will work. Hi, Jimmy. Is it worth buying a bench belt? I have a SBD belt for single ply. I've used bench belts for the last probably 3 or 4 years. I think they're worth it. India, good to go. Good to have you on here then. And Cody says increasing weight too quickly. That's another thing. Yeah, that kind of goes in hand with what I was getting at is don't just start lifting weights to see how much weight you can do. You need to build muscle. You need to work on your mechanics, your motor function. You have to just do a lot of reps, a lot of volume, build muscle. Jimmy, what shirts do you bench with? Well, currently for the last 2.5 years, I've used nothing but the F8 Customs bench shirts, both from Anderson Powerlifting, but also from the F8 Customs website itself. But now I'm getting back into Poly, and I'm going to be using the 2-ply F6 from Anderson Powerlifting. Let's see. I only have the Supercharged Ram, of course, but the F8 shirt keeps the pecs, shoulders, triceps more protected, of course. F8 would then just be my overload safe options, and then learn Poly for skill. Yes. Yes, as long as you're always safe. That'd be a good plan, though. I agree with that. Cool deal. All right. But what else we got here? Not too much, man. But this month of September is going to be nice and easy. We're going to be home. But then October, oof. October, November, we're going to be all over the country. Oh boy. Be in Ohio twice, Vegas, Pennsylvania at least once. Cripes. We might, if we have any seminars, we can slap some seminars, and then it might be in Florida, Kentucky, Tennessee. It's going to be busy. Cody said, let's start a single ply revolution. Is the slingshot worth trying or just a gimmick? Well, I'm not a fan of the slingshot brand. I don't think the slingshot brand itself is made very well, but it is the original slinger. So it's worth trying. Absolutely. I recommend something different like an F8 Widowmaker or a Titan Supercharged Ram. But yeah, slingshot, good starting point for you. Tony says, I'm thinking about selling my 3-ply X Factor and getting an F8 3-ply. Hey, I mean, Cody just sold his. He had a 3-ply or a 4-ply Cody, and he just sold his. So, yeah, I'd go ahead and do it. There's a reason why a lot more people are using the F8s than any other band shirt out there. The Widowmaker is a, not sure what SL? Not sure what that means. Alex. Scott's original 4-ply, Cody says. Okay, so he has a 3. Cody had a 4 that he just sold. Makes sense. The F8 is much cheaper than the poly, but I would need to be able to wiggle myself into an F8 shirt. But I understand that it's much easier than wiggling into a poly. Yes, it is. It is worlds easier. Worlds difference, man. I'm telling you, way different. Let's see. What you have for dinner tonight? Not sure. Not sure. Probably a mass gainer and some sodium. Yep. Not sure though. Flip the Gorilla says, can I drive down and get a personal training session with you? Well, anybody is welcome to come train with us at Unleashed Strength in Manassas Park, Virginia. So, yep. And I think Joe has it set up to where your first workout is free. So it even be free for you to come down. So anytime, man. Anybody's open invitation. Anybody's welcome to come to Unleashed Strength. You don't have to pay me. That's fucking weird. I don't charge people to work out with us, but just have to get a hold of me and get a hold of me ahead of time. Thomas says we could basically say the FA shirt is a full body supercharged RAM on steroids, as supercharged RAM is also so easy to wiggle into and learn, or at least much easier. Yeah, dude, you're going to be very pleasantly surprised just how easy it is to work with the F8 and get in and out of it. That's one of the biggest advantages. When you're done lifting or benching, you just slip it off your arms and let it hang at your belt and just just sit there like this and, cool off. And then when you're ready to bench again, you just pick it back up, arms in, wiggle into a little bit, and then you can bench. And then it's super easy. Super easy to get into. Flip the Gorilla says, I'm in Illinois. I'd love to come. I own a pizza place. I'll bring some pizza with me. Best pizza you'll ever have. Might be a little cold by the time you get to Virginia. I don't know, man, because we're spoiled because from Northeast Ohio, we had Park Street Pizza in Sugar Creek, Ohio. And to this day, I have not found a pizza that rivals or comes anywhere near close to Park Street Pizza in Sugar Creek, Ohio. But you are more than welcome. I just had a buddy come in from Chicago, Robert. I can't remember his last name, but Robert came in. He was from Detroit. No, he was from Chicago. And then we had, we had 2 guys come in that were from out of state. So, yeah, anybody's welcome. I always say that, like, you can come and bench with me anytime. You just got to let me know ahead of time so we can tell the gym owner. Oh, Offer, how's it going? It's going pretty well. We were in Ohio. For an entire 8 days. So we were just finally got back. And it's good to be home. It's So good to be home. Augie says Ohio pie is the best. Hey, I'll tell you that. Like I said, it's Park Street Pizza in Sugar Creek, and it's just I've watched that place grow from a rinky dink little shack to like a walk in walk out, like just a tiny little, like probably 20 foot by 30 foot building, to what it is now, both carry out and a dine in outdoor dining area, parking lots, like right next to the high school. This big building. I've watched them grow over like the last 20, maybe 15 or 20 years, man. It's been awesome. Paul Stevens, have you been in the 2-ply F8 before? I have 2 single plies, 2 double plies, a triple, and 2 quads. I've been in all of them. Yes, I have. Oh, the F6. I'm sorry. 2-ply F6. No, I have not. I just got into the 2-ply F6 for the first time 2 Wednesdays ago. Started the break-in process just 2 Wednesdays ago. So I'm going to put that on Patreon. Every Saturday from this point forward, it's going to be in the F6. So it's going to be on Patreon, the whole break-in process. It's going to be fun. I say it's going to be fun. Leah Reichman, quick word with you. Quick word with you, Leah. If you're still on here, I was going to judge your meat there in November, but we've got probably 6 of our people and counting that want to come up and do your meat. So I might have to not judge and just handle, because I thought it was only going to be like 2 or 3. Now 6 of my guys all are doing the meat. So I might not be able to judge. Maybe if I can judge deadlift, but for squat and bench, normally the people that are there as handlers for these few competitors are now competing themselves. So I'm just letting you know ahead of time that I might not be able to judge the whole meet, maybe just deadlift, because I got a lot of people I need to help now. Just wanted to tell you that. I was going to call you, but then you hopped on here. Let's see. Okay. You'll have plenty of people to rotate. Good. Good to hear. I'm here. Does bench press increase during cut? I don't know what you're talking about. I bought a deep dish in LA for Scott, and he was scooping it in with his hands, eating it. He ate the whole thing. Interesting. Would feed a family. The whole thing was beautiful. Oh, good Christ. That sounds like him. How wide should be our hand when we use reverse grip? Should it be as wide? I put the rings of the bar right there on the palm, or have your pinky fingers touching the ring. That's what I suggest. Do I get a lot of pop out of your Titan deadlift suit with conventional pulls? I don't, because it's cut. It's actually a sumo. It's actually a sumo suit, so it's not a conventional suit. Well, we're all hyped to see you too, Leah. Does bench increase? Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so yeah, guys, I got 2 minutes left here on Instagram. I'm going to keep talking just for a little bit here on YouTube. So if anybody wants to hop over to YouTube, I'm going live on there as well. I've got a minute and 14 seconds remaining. So I'm gonna keep talking here on YouTube just for a few more minutes, but I'm gonna go ahead and let this Instagram run out here. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what y'all are being weird, but R. Morris, hey, appreciate everybody hopping on here. Again, if you want to continue talking, I'm going to be over here on YouTube for a few more minutes, answering some last minute questions. I got behind there. So, but I will be back on here this entire month. I should be on here Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, if you need anything powerlifting related, equipment wise, knee wraps, wrist wraps, bench shirts, squat suits, whatever you can think of, AndersonPowerlifting.com. Use my code Kolbstrong right there for a 10% discount at checkout on anything in the entire store except for the F8 Sportcraft bench bar. That's the only thing it doesn't work on. Join my Patreon for $10 a month if you want to watch all of my workouts 5 days a week. Okay, $10 a month. Just find Kolbstrong on Patreon.com. You all have a fantastic night. We will see you back on here 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Monday. Cool. That's how I sign off of Instagram. Let's see here. All right, guys. Okay, somebody make an offer on the 3-ply. So Tony right here is selling his 3-ply Mendy X Factor. His X Factor Mendy. That's an interesting design because each flat layer has an X of wraps on top of it. So it's a flat layer with an X, and then a flat layer, and then an X. So right in the middle where the X's cross, that 3-ply is actually 9 layers thick right in the middle here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a lot of material. I've never actually seen, I think I've seen one in person. And they're pretty rigid, I think. I think they're pretty rigid pieces of material, piece of gear. So yeah, someone wants to make Tony an offer on a 3-ply Mendy X Factor. Any more information about it, Tony? Is it slightly used? Is it got a lot of sets in it? How big is it? Like, we need to know some more information about it. Paul Offer, are you going to the IPA meet in Kentucky November 11th? I don't think so, because October and November are both stacked with events. We're going to be at the American Pro. We're going to be at the Swiss Symposium in Columbus, Ohio. We're going to be at the WABDO Worlds in Vegas. We're going to go to the York meet in Pennsylvania. I don't even know what month that is. The American Pro, luckily, the 3-day event is here in Manassas Park, so like my hometown, so that's not a big deal. But we have buku events. I really don't think I'm going to be there November 11th. No. Thomas says, thanks, buddy. It makes a lot of sense. This is really helpful. I reckon I don't need to worry about touching like 440, 490 in the F8. Then I'll discuss with Anderson at the time for proper sizing. Yes. Just talk with them. They'll point you in the right direction and get the size you need. What's your max bench? 1,401 pounds. Thomas says, I know you dislike raw bench. I just don't do it. But what do you think of, let's say, a 2 attempts bench meet, raw, single, unlimited, and have that as like a triple bench total, of course, with all safety, etc. needed. Someone had that idea. I think it was actually Rayanne Miller and Jeff Miller were talking about making a meet called Lords of the Bench or something like that. It'd be 3 attempts. It'd be first attempt raw, second attempt single ply, third attempt unlimited. So you do all 3 for a combined total, and that would be like the winner would be with the biggest total. The Anderson bench meet, that's going to be at the Arnold next year on Saturday. It's the Anderson Invitational, and that's a 3-lift bench meet where it's first attempt, second attempt, third attempt combined for a total. That's never been done before, so it's kind of similar. But yeah, that's interesting because I think, like I said, Rayanne and Jeff Miller were talking about doing that raw single unlimited total. It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting for sure. Paul Offer said, I'm doing that. I'm doing Matt Brooks's meet in October 7th in Bristol. Yes, I think October 7th. I think that's fuck. We have something at the beginning of October. I think it's the American Pro. The Swiss Symposium is towards the end of October. We have something that weekend. I just can't remember what it is. Well, good. I'm glad you're going to Matt Brooks' meet. Matt Brooks runs good meets. He's a good dude. Yep, and he wants to uphold the standard. He wants there to be, things upheld and rules and everything. So, yeah, Matt's a good dude. Well, then we would see you on that meet, given if raw is allowed with reversed grip the way you do it. I don't know. I'd have to actually plan for it and train for it because I don't train for raw. So that'd be definitely a disadvantage of mine. Tony says his triple ply Mendy X Factor is like new. XL size. It needs more break-in. So Tony has a almost brand new XL triple ply Mendy X Factor shirt. If anybody wants to make an offer here for it, then he's more willing to listen. But so cool. Hey, I'm going to go ahead. It's been just over an hour. It's been an hour and 5 minutes and 3 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and end it, everybody. Thank you for being on here on a random ass Tuesday night. Appreciate you hopping on here. Appreciate the support. Same thing. If you guys want to look me up on Patreon, much appreciated the support there. $10 a month to see all my training. Doing some pretty cool. It's not secret training, but like I'm doing something that I'm not making public. So if you want to see what that is, it's on Patreon. It's also on YouTube members. Same thing, $10 a month, YouTube members. And Thomas, you're welcome for all the help. Thank you all for the questions, the engagement. I appreciate that. We will be back on here, like I told Instagram, on Monday nights. So Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over here in Virginia. So I'm going to go ahead and end it right there. You all have a good rest of your night, a good rest of your week. Hope to see you again next week, Monday night. And all right, stay strong until then.